Hello and welcome to Nanapod, a podcast dedicated to the fantastic manga written by A. Yazawa. I'm Crystal, and I'm joined by my best girl Kirsten as we dissect this manga, discussing everything from the emotions, the cultural impact, as well as any headcanons that might be floating around in our brains. With this podcast, we hope to preserve a shoujo staple that sadly hasn't been talked about in a very long time. So come with us. We're waiting for you in apartment 707.
Speaking of Takumi, Takumi is in this chapter yet again. And I want to make note, there's some thoughts I've been having.
Okay.
Hard on characters. I'm really hard on everything because my ideas are constantly developing. And I think that it's important just to note that Takumi's doing some shitty shit, but Takumi is around for the rest of the series. And Takumi is one of those characters that has a lot of parts to him that are hidden aspects. And he goes through a lot of character development. And so, yes, how he is introduced is intentionally unsavory.
Yeah.
Because it makes him more relatable and it makes him more real. And we don't get to start seeing his admirable qualities until much later.
Yep.
We see a couple in this chapter, but he ruins them. And that's the thing. And I guess I don't want to not be hard on him as a character because the stuff that he does is far from okay.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to be oh, but he gets better later, so we're just going to ignore that he did these terrible things. No. I just wanted to make note of that, and that it's, we learn a lot about Takumi, and he is emotionally detached for a lot of reasons, and so more than one truth can be true, I guess is the point. Kind of we hate Hachi in the first chapter. But her character goes through development. And most people don't even make it through the first chapter of Nana, to be honest.
No, I know they don't.
Because she is painful.
Well,
But that's the thing, and that's character development. And that's what makes these characters real, is the nuance. They have nuance. And
I mean, yeah, I think that's well, a lot of people forget that because I think a lot of narratives, maybe not necessarily during this time frame, but we definitely saw it way later. Most of the female characters never change. They just kind of exist.
One-dimensional.
Yeah, like little cardboard boxes. So
yeah,
Lego bricks.
Definitely. And these characters are not one-dimensional, and I just think that I'm gonna continue being harsh on Takumi for a while. He's not Yasu, okay? He might be super pretty, but he's not the unproblematic king of the story. He is the problem. In a lot of aspects of various characters' lives, but it also comes from a space of wanting to protect them because that's the only way to know, or that he knows specifically how to show that he cares.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay. He's in the VeggieTales universe for me, so you're just gonna have to put up with me.
I put him there. I'm sorry.
No, I think that's so funny. I showed Nate the clip thing that I made for TikTok, and he was like, "Yeah." I had to explain the Nana bit, but he understood the VeggieTale bit, so. Yeah, I've told a few of my friends that were raised in the Christian school thing, and I've showed it to them, and they think it's very funny because they understand the VeggieTales reference. The other part almost doesn't matter, but so it's good.
I don't mean to make funny connections. In my brain, they're not funny. In my
Oh,
brain, I'm like, oh, this is what this is.
that's okay. To me, it was hilarious.
But yeah, I wanted to make that note about Takumi. Like,
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, you don't. I mean, you can continue to be harsh on him because he's like he does bad things. Yeah, I know that I'm like, I feel like people are gonna be like, you're giving him leeway because he's pretty. I'm like, no, he's just pretty.
he's just pretty.
He's
Like,
just really
he's pretty.
pretty.
And currently in the story, he's a fuckboy.
I mean,
That's it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's the whole like thing, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we know from like real life that fuckboys can grow up.
Mm. I would need someone to name me
Time.
five fuck boys that have grown up, but you know.
But yeah. But yeah, he does have like very real development that happens. And once we get to the bonus chapters about like his childhood and stuff, like it'll be easier to like frame it out a little bit. And like he has his role, and um he has like a very, when it comes to like love and responsibility of family, which we don't see till later, but I think
Mm.
we're gonna go through this character development anyway. He does like, he's very noble about it, um and like he does end up balancing Hachi out. So just,
Mm.
I don't know, it's kind of tough because like I feel bad when I'm like, hey, we're gonna tear this character apart, but in 10 episodes we're gonna love them.
Well, I mean, I guess you can look back at stuff and be like, this isn't okay. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this right here
Mm-hmm.
is not.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
exactly. There can be more than one truth.
Yeah,
That's the big part.
yeah.
That's the big part. Oh, I gotta open
That's
this. That's not what I'm reading for this. There we go.
and yeah, I think the way we did it with like the I guess it'd be like vignettes where it switches.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Okay, cool. You want to start?
Oh yeah. So let's see. What are we on? We are on chapter 16.
So yeah, we're
Uh,
on volume 5,
yeah.
chapter 16.
So let's see. The first page I've got here is little like little like 4-year-old Hachiko. She's like got her little cute cup with what is that? Like a
Bear.
little, is it a bear or a
It's
mouse?
bear.
It's cute. It's cute. Sitting in front of ye old TV, and we have the
It's
thought
a tube
boxes.
television
It's a tube television. Yes,
with a rounded screen.
yes. I had one of these,
Oh,
and
well, no, we didn't all, but you know, our
yeah,
generation did.
our generation did. I was like, yeah, I was just like, I had one. Don't know if you did or not.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, we got think boxes, and she's saying, when I was small, my mother could only be my mother. Teachers were teachers, and cops were nothing but cops. It was just like that. Celebrities were celebrities. They were inherently different than me. So even at 20, I dot dot dot.
Oh my. Okay.
Okay, not the same, I think.
No, not the same. Number one, cops are not cops, they are soldiers.
Okay.
And it's totally a different perspective, okay? Because she says, I thought that a mother was born a mother, that a teacher had
Oh.
always been a teacher, so that these jobs, that the roles that people had, they were birthed into them,
I mean, that doesn't
right?
seem that weird to me,
Well, like,
honestly.
no, this thing, I was reading this today earlier, and I was like, I used to think that way. It's like a kid
Right?
thought. You know what I mean? It's like a
Yeah.
kid thought. Um, and then let's see. And a star stays a star. And I've always had the impression that they were different beings than I. Even now that
Mm.
I'm 20, I dot 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 probably still thinks the same, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like totally a different way, a different perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was like,
Mhm.
hold up.
No,
That is a
you're fine.
completely different meaning.
No, I was waiting. I was just like, I wonder what's going on there. But no, I do kind of like that kid brain thought because, well, I used to think that way too. People just,
Yeah.
you were born a
Well, it's
teacher.
kind of like I thought that speaking of tube televisions, I'm sure I've told you this story before, but it's like still one of my most mind-baffling realizations of my whole eternal existence. Um, is I was probably like 2 or 3, and we had like a little TV in the kitchen on the counter, and then we had like the family room TV, right, which was like the big box TV that sat on the floor. And my grandma was watching Oprah, and it was on both of the TVs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one was color, but the one in the kitchen was black and white. And I was running back and forth from TV to TV because I was confused that one was black and white and one was color. Okay, because it didn't make sense, right? It's because I thought
Mm-hmm.
TVs were like windows.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my thought was, though, and I had always had this thought, that with a smaller TV, it's a smaller window, so you see less.
I mean, yeah.
Like a cropped image, right? So I was running back and forth from TV to TV, and that's when I made the realization that, oh, it's just smaller,
I mean,
not a cropped image.
it's not a cropped image. It's not less, but I mean, it could
Yeah,
be less. It
but like,
c-
but that made less sense to me than when I believed it to be initially. Anyway, that was my little side tangent.
No, I think that's cute though. But also
Brain
just
stuff,
like yeah, no, I love that kind of brain stuff. I'm telling
right?
you. Neurodivergent people make the world interesting. We make the world fucking interesting, okay? Sorry,
That's true.
making that
That's
point.
true.
Even though sometimes it hurts to have these brains, but
Oh, it hurts all the time.
it's all the time.
It's all the time.
But at
Yep.
least we're fucking hilarious and interesting. So
At least
there.
yeah. We're not a monolith though, and this isn't supremic. It's just our brains are funny, and at least I'm always entertained.
Right? Even when you drink too much coffee and can't go to
Oh
sleep.
my god, I'm still like reeling, and I only had a little bit of coffee today because I had to get out of bed.
Yeah.
And the tiniest little bit of caffeine to just be like, okay, we have to still human.
Yeah.
Too much coffee. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're
Go
fine.
on.
So now we're back in the car with Takumi and Hachi because he picked her up. And he's talking. He's like, "Wow, what a coincidence. I mean, what are the chances?" And Hachi's like, "Yeah." And then she thinks, "Well, it's beyond chance." And I'm thinking, "Yeah, it's the
No,
demon lord.
she says the world is small.
The world is small. You're in. Is Tokyo really small? Like,
It's dense, but the world, like the saying of it's a small world,
oh yeah, and not like the boat ride from Disneyland.
not like the other girls.
Not like the other girls, right? No, he's like, so where should we go? Can you stay out late? Tomorrow's Saturday. You got the day off? And she's like trembling and blushing. And she's like, yeah. And thinking, is this really happening? And Takumi's like, got a little sweat drop. And he's like, don't be nervous. And she's like, "Oh, sorry, And he's like, "No, no, don't apologize." And she's like, "Yeah, but what do I say?" And he's like, "Now you're making me nervous. What do I do?" And I'm like, she does this to Kumi. I don't
Right?
know.
Buckle in.
Yeah, buckle in. Like, and like, this is like the first time, I guess, like, because was it Asano, uh, told her like she would kind of have
Right.
these moments.
Right. And I think that this whole like being in a car going to a hotel, like this is some of that undercurrent of the story that's not being told to us.
Right, right.
Right. These are the things that you kind of just have to like know because
Mhm.
I think that that's a big part of why she is so nervous. And I think that it's actually endearing that Takumi's like, I'm starting to get nervous because of you.
I mean, at least
Because
he's
she's
yeah.
nervous, so it's rubbing off on him.
Yeah. I mean, at least he said something though, because Asano didn't say anything. Like he just,
Well, yeah, but that was different.
it was different. But still, he didn't. He didn't. He told her later. Like, oh,
Yeah,
by the
exactly.
way.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think that for Hachi, um, I think that it's just like, oh, I've been here before kind of vibes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Except it's also like she's a super huge fan.
Yep.
So there's that part too.
Yeah. That's a little bit
And
different.
going back to like those childhood thoughts and stars stay stars, like stars are born stars,
Mm-hmm.
right? They came out of the womb doing whatever they do. And she's starting to see like because like so far her exposure up until meeting Trapnest has been blast and they're just people to her, right?
Mm-hmm.
These people were famous before, so they
Mm-hmm.
weren't people to her and now they're becoming humanized.
Right. Which is which is good.
Totally fair.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she freaks out. She freaks out. She's like, "What? How?" As in like, "How can you be nervous?" And he's like, "'Cause well, I wasn't expecting us to hook up like this. I wasn't prepared." And she's like, "Wait, that's my line." And then he says, "But I was thinking I'd like to see you again." And I'm like, "Um, were you really thinking that? Or is this a line?"
See, mine's different.
What's he say?
Mine's different. He says, but I felt like seeing you again,
Oh,
which
okay.
totally changes it.
Yeah, it really does. I felt like seeing you again. Okay,
Yeah, that's not the same as thinking.
true.
Totally different.
Yeah, because the thinking one feels more like he's handing
It's
her.
like
Yeah.
calculated, premeditated, like
Uh-huh.
yucky, right? But like
Yeah,
if he's
yucky.
feeling like he wanted to see her, then like that comes not from the head space, but like the heart space or even, the pee pee space, the downstairs belly button. But like, you
The
know,
cucumber space. Yes.
yeah. The phallic,
Yeah.
the phallic, the phallic
The phallic
object.
hard things in
The
people's
phallic
pants.
things in people's pants.
The shelf, the eggplant in the bookstore. That's
The cucumber that's kept in the gray sweatpants.
yeah, yeah, that's about right.
Very specific.
Very, very specific. Oh man.
But yeah, in mine he says, but I felt like seeing you again. And I do think that there's the sincerity in that.
Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, I feel less like ugh,
It's like, yeah, premeditated or calculated or manipulative, right? Like
mm-hmm.
it's just a little more like genuine or authentic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she's got wide eyes. And then she's like, I don't believe you. What do I do? And he's like, no, really. Why else would I call you? I don't call people very often. And she's like, stunned, just stunned face.
Okay. We have deviations.
We have deviations? What do we
Yes.
got?
She's like, no, that's impossible. Oh, what do I do? And then he's like, it's true. I wouldn't have bothered calling you otherwise. And honestly, I'm not a caring guy.
Oh, he calls himself out.
Yeah. He's
In
self-aware. So we get a
okay.
we get a we get a little sliver of the Takumi iceberg of his self-awareness.
Okay, Takumi. At least you know you can be shitty, so it's better.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's in her head, and she's
He's,
like, "This has to be a
he's
dream."
in her head.
She's in her head. Yeah, she's like, this can't happen in real life. Even if it can't happen to me." And then he like looks over at her, and she's blushing, and then he leans over and he just kisses her, and I'm like, maybe he's trying to diffuse the tension, maybe a little bit.
I mean, I'm sorry. We have different variations again.
Oh no.
It's just slight word translations that I think like change the perspective enough. I feel like Viz
Mm-hmm.
Media wants to make Takumi even worse out to be than he is.
Mm.
But I mean, they left out success sluts, so can we like really
And
um
inflammable products. They left that out too. So
Yeah, she's probably dreaming. Yeah, something like this couldn't possibly happen. So couldn't possibly happen, right? And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
and even if it was possible, there's no reason it would happen to me. There's no reason it would happen to me.
Mm.
Just the
True.
switch of the can't to the couldn't in the would.
Right. Yeah, that is different. Although she did say, want something for me, and the demon lord said,
Mm-hmm.
here you
Yeah,
go.
she's getting the selfish boy right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty superficial at the moment, but it's also not for him,
Mm-hmm.
oddly. She's just
Right.
emotionally detached beyond belief. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway. Now
Yeah.
they go kissing.
Yeah. It's
It
it's a good kiss panel. I don't care who you are. It's a
is
fan.
a good kiss panel, but he's like really pretty. That
So
hair. So
pretty.
good.
Oh, so pretty. Like I showed my girlfriend Alexa, like I was just like, here's the thing that I made about Takumi being like he's the bad guy. And she looked at me and she goes, he looks like Nate. I'm like, I know. I mean, that's my problem. It's why I'm sweet on Takumi. He looks like my husband. That's why it's got me fucked up. So anyway, they're kissing and she's all blushy. And then the light changes because they were like a stoplight, and the person behind them is just honking at them like, fucking go, man. And he's like, oh, green already? What an impatient stoplight. Guess I am too. And I'm like, impatient or a stoplight? Or both?
I mean, both.
Both.
Yeah. We're just like collecting the images of what Takumi is. He's a cucumber. He is a stoplight.
It's a stoplight. Just objectifying him in the weirdest ways.
We didn't do it.
No, we didn't. But she's like nervous face, and she's thinking about what Nana said, where she's like, Takumi's just a player, and
Yeah,
now
she's
she's
stuck in her head right now.
yeah, she's like back in her head. She's gonna be here a while because now they're like at the big fancy hotel thing, and she's like, I woke up from that crazy dream with that dreamy kiss. This isn't a dream, and Takumi isn't a prince. This is a one night stand for him. As they're like going into the lobby reception 3, and he's like, wait here for a second. And he just kind of moves away from her, leaving her standing alone in the lobby. And she's back in her head. She's like, what should I do? I didn't come here just to, I should get out of here. And she's just kind of watching him walk away. And the little people at the front desk are like, hey, that was the guy from Trap Nest. Wow, he's so tall. And then we're back on Hachi being like, then why did I get in his car? I know where I stand. He'd never go out with me. I'm not stupid. I knew where a drive and dinner might lead to. I should
Oh,
have
no, no, no,
known it'd
no.
end up
I
like
gotta
this.
pause. This one actually matters,
Okay.
even though like everything is different, but this one is different. This one line. It says, I don't have enough self-confidence to ask him to make me his girlfriend. And then it says, I'm not a
Oh.
child anymore. Who can think that it'll be over after a car ride and dinner? In reality, I must have wanted things to happen that way.
Hmm. I
Different.
mean, yeah, that's different. Self confidence. That's interesting that she was even thinking, like, can I ask him to be my boyfriend? Because that's
Well,
different.
like, yeah. I mean, I think like it's less of that part and more of the part of I don't have the self-confidence. Because the
Hmm.
way that she like walks from this point and how small she's made her body,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like this is where I think that Takumi's being creepy. Like she's obviously uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Anyway,
she
go
is.
on.
No, you're fine. She said, I should have known it'd end up like this. Why am I hesitating? This is a once in a lifetime chance. Now she's like debating with herself, right? She's like, I don't have a boyfriend, so why should I feel guilty? I should just go for it and cherish the memory. and then like that whole thing was in her head, and then he like comes back and he like squeezes her shoulder, and she like jumps because she was like just completely spiraling.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Sorry to keep you waiting." And then the elevator dings, and
But
yeah,
see how
we
small she is?
yeah, she's like her head's like down,
And her
like
shoulders are like pinched together forward.
mm-hmm.
Like she's not standing up straight. Like,
Mm-mm. It's not it's not good.
mm-mm.
Um and then there's these two girls that are like coming out of the elevator, and one of them's on her phone. She's not paying attention, but the other one like notices Takumi, and as Hachi and Takumi are getting in the elevator, she's like, "Hey, he's from Trap Nest," just like shouting it at the top of her lungs, and the other like cell phone girl's like, "What?" and just turns around. Like, damn it, I didn't see. Was it Ren? And the girl's like, no, the guy with the long hair. You're not important enough to remember. You're not nice guy.
Right? No, just the one with the long hair.
Uh-huh.
Like, but you know, and Takumi kind of explains that here coming up.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he does.
yeah, now we're in the elevator and Nana is shaking, nervous. I don't really know what's going on with whatever this is because she went from being really small and looking like really insecure, and
Mm-hmm.
admitting that she isn't secure enough for this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we have the small words. Um, we were seen, and when his hand was on my shoulder, let's see. And she's like, I'll be in a magazine, on TV, in a gossip column. So, like, that's okay. So, that's why she's kind of nervous, is because she's like, oh crap. And
Right.
then Takumi's just like nonchalant, thinking to himself, I'm starving.
Right.
Like, she's back there freaking out. He could do better. That's my point.
Right.
It's one thing to be emotionally detached, it's another thing to not notice that someone is super uncomfortable.
True. Ugh.
And so she's like, Takumi, San. And then he's like, San, you usually call me Takumi, come on. And she's like, yeah, but
She calls
tell
him
me.
Mr. Takumi in mine, which is just dumb and awful, and I hate it.
And so she says, it isn't fashionable to say this, but aren't you afraid that everyone will see you bringing a girl to a hotel? Shouldn't you disguise yourself? Put something other than black sunglasses on. They really give off the big star vibe. And he's like, disguise myself. And then in this panel, he's in like, it's the dinosaur from Gokunjo. Or no, it's the dinosaur from Parakiss. It's in Gokunjo also. They're the same.
Right.
But yeah, so he's in that costume. And he's like, but that's even more obvious. And Hachi's laughing. So they broke the fourth wall essentially to do that.
Right.
And she's like, it really suits you. And this is like the most relaxed in this like panel backstage in Junko's place. Like this is the most comfortable that she's been this
No, for
whole
real.
escapade. And she's like, what's with this guy? He's really a joker. This isn't a time to joke. And he's like, it'll be all right. The paparazzi has better things to do than stalk me. Plus, our group tends to avoid public appearances, so we're not famous to the point of having to hide.
Oh, so in mine he says he's like, that's why we don't deal too much with the media, so we won't be recognizable. I'm like, oh, so you don't do a lot of big press, so people can't tell it's you.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Kind of smart.
it is really smart. But like he goes on to explain though, like he's really not like the one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you talking about? Trapnest is really famous. The four of you are equally known. Open your eyes. And he's like, you say that because you're a fan. Rira is famous. Maybe she should disguise herself. What's worst is that she'd enjoy it. Usually people
Oh.
know Rira and maybe Ren. That's it. Naoki and I, we're the long-haired guy and the blonde guy. Because of that, The record company won't let me cut my hair. Why can't I do what I want?
Mm.
And she's like, no, not at all. To me, you're the most
Right,
yelling.
she's so
Stop
and
yourself.
I know, like this. What's this look on his face?
It's satisfaction.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah,
I was having such a hard time. I'm just like
it's
because
a
she
smirk.
okay, because she does think that he's like the best, and she's being very honest about it.
Yeah,
In
but she
that
stops herself.
she does.
And like he's smirking. It's like he's a god.
True.
And like she's immortal.
I mean, isn't that kind of what celebrities sort of are? I
In
mean,
their
not
own rights, yeah, that's like I guess
yeah.
conceptually because like oh god, I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. So like with gods, they're like venerated ancestors essentially, right?
hmm
They're people that got really, really famous.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I like to think of celebrities as gods because it just makes sense because people treat them like they're immortals.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, they treat them as if they're non-human, right?
yeah.
But like, I mean, I think that like, I don't know, it's a smirk,
Mm.
and I want to think to myself that like he likes it, like in a genuine, like authentic way, not like a screaming fan,
Yeah,
but
I hope
because I
so.
do think that he likes Hachi.
Yeah.
I don't think he doesn't, not like her. I
hmm
think that he ends up treating her like he treats all the other women because he doesn't know different.
hmm
And that changes over time, just like right now. But
True. I
like
mean, yeah, she kind of
I think that
she's
that like
safe.
made him happy in his weird
Takumi head. Yeah.
Takumi way.
Yeah, and that I hope
And
so too.
so the elevator stopped
hmm
and she's like thinking to herself, he must think that I'm dumb and innocent, but I've shown who I really am. Many things have happened in my life, and I thought that they changed me, but in the end, nothing has changed since I was 17. If I could keep today's happiness, I wouldn't worry about tomorrow.
Mm.
So now she's happy.
Yeah, because she's in this gigantic.
Yeah, it's because she's in this huge hotel, this huge fancy hotel, and she's running around like she did when she saw the Sabrina store, by the way.
Yep.
Um, sitting on everything, there's little stars, and she's like, "What is this?" I'm so impressed. So wide. There's 2 rooms. It's beautiful. It's like a castle. Don't tell me. It's a suite and she's in a princess dress
With her stupid star eyes.
with her star eyes and flowers around her. And he's just sitting in a chair behind her with like a little sweat bead and a big smile. And he's like, "You like it this much? It's worth the cost of a night here."
I mean, I kind of hope, like, I hope, maybe it's just me. I hope that, like, this is one of the reasons he ends up actually really kind of having a love for Hachi because like that up there was completely authentic, just running around being like, "Oh my god, so fucking cool." Whereas
Yeah,
probably
when
most
Hachi is Hachi, like kind of like
yeah,
when they were playing Mahjong and like
uh-huh.
Takumi left and suddenly she became Hachi again
Yeah.
and they like pointed it out.
It's because they like her just when she's
Yeah.
like that. But that's why like I think that's like safe for him. Most women he brings home are probably like, I don't know, leaning up against stuff, being like, "Oh, nice place," or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah, I feel like he generally doesn't take girls home that are like Hachi.
No, I don't think so.
Probably
Mm-mm.
like people maybe in their like management company.
I was thinking
Do you
like
know what I mean?
virtual Sachiko. That's who I
Virtual
imagine.
Sachiko. Yeah, people in their
Yeah.
management company, like models.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that's what I envision for Takumi in the
Same.
land of cucumbers.
Right?
Now I'm just like seeing him run through a sea of a cucumber farm. oh no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's
Oh
so good.
no. And then she's like, oh, I could die of happiness if only I could die here now.
Drink your water. She's like freak out crying.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. And he's like, wait to be in bed to die.
Oh
Pops
God.
down because she like got down on the ground.
Yeah, she's so excited.
Oh my god. And she's like, but before that, we have to eat to our satisfaction. And he's like, you can order anything you'd like. And she's like, what? You mean we're eating here? And he's like, we can go out if you want. And she's like, no, I've always dreamed of being served in my room. I'm touched.
I mean, room service is pretty
No,
fucking
room service
cool.
is legit.
Yeah, it's awesome. Love it.
Um, and so now she's like, is she? I don't understand this panel a whole lot because like
Okay.
they're in a frame behind her while she's jumping around and they're looking at the menu in that frame, but she's jumping around.
Maybe it's like they're
In her
okay,
head,
so
maybe we're in her brain and she's freaking out in her brain.
yeah, I think
Okay.
maybe because she's
Okay.
like ordering and she's so excited because like so what are they ordering in yours? Is it different from mine, I wonder?
It says the special is duck.
Okay,
And
yeah.
she's like, duck? I've never had it. And he's like, really? It's good. What about liver? And she's like, liver? I've definitely never eaten that. Should we order caviar while we're here?
Okay, I wonder if the other one. Okay, so I do have the caviar, I have the duck, but also I have it's probably liver. Foie gras. It's
Yep.
probably liver. Yeah,
Foie gras.
foie gras.
Foie gras.
I
Yeah, that's
screwed
liver.
that up.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. Um, Fine. And he's like, you should take a shower to relax while you wait for dinner. See, now he's whining and dining her.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I told you the thing about the bathrobe. Like,
Yep. Nope.
mm,
I agree. I totally agree. Like, he doesn't have to sleep with her.
mm.
Like, that's the thing. Is he doesn't
Yeah.
have to,
No.
right? I
Could
don't
just
know.
hang out. Could just
They can
hang
just
out.
hang out. She can still take a shower.
Yeah.
Because it's fancy. It's probably a fancy fucking shower.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little weird. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, you should take a shower to relax while you wait for dinner. There's a bathrobe. You can wear it. And she's like, yeah, a bathrobe. And then she's in her head and she's like, he knows this place as if it were his castle. Expensive makeup. I wonder if I can take some back with me.
Oh,
Squirrel.
oh, dang. Okay, so like I thought it was just shampoo she was holding. It's just like this stuff's expensive. I should snag these. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you should.
yeah,
Just
do it,
do it.
Hachi.
Do it.
Steal it.
Um, there must be a ton of girls as dumb as me around him. I'm only one amongst many. See, like this is the thing though, is like I feel like he's just doing the same thing he's done with other girls. So even if he does have bigger emotions for her or bigger feels for her,
Mm-hmm.
Hachi needs to, well, I mean, every girl needs essentially, but
Mm-hmm.
Hachi needs to be like, I don't know. There's not enough time. Like she's insecure.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fuck people who are insecure about it. That's it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Welcome to your early 20s. Hopefully, like, the kids today have learned the lessons that we worked so hard to fucking speak out on. But,
I
you
mean,
know,
I always hope so, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded. I've seen teenagers make certain kind of mistakes and then they like to pretend like it's not stupid or it's not a product of their like brain and their age and I'm like
that's not the same
it's
as, like, but that's not the same as, that's different.
yeah.
Like, there are things that are developmental, and then there are things that are social and cultural. Um,
Yeah.
as far as like assault goes, that is social. That is not
Mm,
developmental.
yeah.
Um, and so like that's what I mean.
Okay, yeah. No, I was thinking more of like not necessarily in regard to like, like assault type things or whatever, but like you're doing something like you're not supposed to be doing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing
Yeah.
this thing and you're like, well, I know I'm not really supposed to do it. You do it anyway, and then,
But you
the
have to
kids
know the outcome to know why you can't do it or shouldn't do it. That's
bad
a big
guys.
part of just like development. And that's
Yeah.
developmental. That's not the same thing as being in your early 20s and totally like victimizing people,
No. Mm-mm. That's like,
right?
yeah, that's not the subject. See, my head went to a different spot. It was just like, I'm doing this thing. I'm not supposed to be doing it. It's just like, it's the same mistake we made. We made the same mistake. We've all done I know I shouldn't, but here
Well,
I
that's why,
am.
like, that's the thing, though, because it's just like, if a boomer tells me, well, I've made that mistake before, and it's like, yeah, but you didn't change. Was
Yeah.
it a social mistake? Was it a cultural mistake? Or was it a developmental mistake?
Yeah.
Right? So, like, there are things that are developmental mistakes that it's like, yeah, you're gonna make those mistakes. Sure.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a different theme, a different flavor, maybe impact you a different way. Um, but like, that's just kind of the way that it rolls out. I also
Hmm.
don't believe in free will, so there's that part of it. But um but when it comes to like social implications or boys will be boys.
Yeah, no, not that. Mm-mm.
Right. Right. And like that's this situation. You know what I mean? Like this is the Takumi situation.
Yeah.
Is I feel like it does fall into the boys will be boys, and that's why I made that comment about working so hard to not be quiet, working so hard to bring awareness,
Mm-hmm.
is in the hope that future generations don't have to deal with it anymore. Right?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Um,
that's always the hope.
right. Well, because like, you know, this maybe it wasn't with a famous person particularly, but um not being 100 like she's not 100% confident. She feels like it is a social obligation.
Mm-hmm.
And she's trying to convince herself that it's
Right.
not.
Because it's
She's
an
trying to convince
opportunity.
herself. Yeah, exactly. She's trying to
Yeah.
convince herself that it's good for her. It's a good idea.
Right.
When she's not 100%. And she should be allowed to be 100%. And he should know the power that he has.
Are you sure he doesn't? I feel like he knows.
I don't think he's fully conscious of it
Huh.
because
Hmm.
she's not communicating,
True.
right? He probably thinks everything's cool or like she is just this way. She wants this. I'm famous,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. She's not saying anything, so yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Right. And that's where the social part of it comes into place is because nobody should have to say anything,
Mm-hmm.
right? Shouldn't have to be, you know, put in situations where it's assumed.
Yeah. Or at least you can be like, hey, I know I don't feel comfortable.
Hey, I don't feel cool about this.
Yeah,
It
can we just
doesn't
like
feel
hang
right.
yeah, can we hang out? Can we just hang out? Like I'm cool
We
with
just
that.
be bros or whatever.
He's a stoplight and he's a cucumber, and now in my head I'm like, you're like a Russian bot. You just have a
Oh,
program and you just do
God.
it.
You know, I really want to like crack this thing and like be like the bots aren't Russian.
Oh, but
I mean,
they're
conspiracy
funny.
theory land, I think that the bots are actually from the US and they just have Russian servers.
Oh, okay. The
But, you know,
Takumi the Russian American bot. But he's Japanese, then it's weird. I don't know.
it's always for propaganda, right? They're all
Right?
imperialist countries anyway, so fuck them all. That's all. Okay,
She's
so she's in
like,
her head. She's in the shower now.
mm-hmm,
And there must be tons of girls as dumb as me around him. I'm only one amongst many. So like there's that confidence thing.
mm-hmm.
Um But since I'm so happy, I may as well enjoy tonight as a chance to live my dream, right? What is
Mm-hmm.
your dream now, Hachi? To be rich and live in a penthouse? I mean,
Maybe?
that's fair,
Yeah, no, that's
but I
fair.
wouldn't say that's like a dream goal. I would say that's like a fantasy.
Yeah.
And so now they're eating, and she's like, "It's delicious," and he's like, "Isn't it?" But to me, what you made last night was far better. And she's like, "That's impossible." Oh, what a sweet talker.
Yeah. And also, here's that panel of the scene. She's in a bathrobe, and so she's naked under there, and he's over there just fully clothed. And I'm like, I don't like it.
I don't like it either. It'd be different if they were in a relationship, if she was confident in the relationship. But
Hmm.
he has the upper hand in the power dynamic, and that's my issue.
Yep. And it shows from the sweet talking. Yeah, I guess that's the
I
line.
don't think he's actually sweet. I think that comment was actually genuine.
Okay.
I
Mm,
do. I do. I think that because he goes on to say, he's like, it's true. Generally on tours, we always eat at restaurants, and it gets annoying,
fair.
right? Like, because like he even like if we think about, he even sat down next to her while she was cooking and was like
Yeah.
eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like home cooked food is its own thing, and if you never get it,
Yeah. It sucks.
um, and so she's like, by the way, the tour continues tomorrow, right? Is your schedule free? And he's like, of course. Since we leave Tokyo early in the morning, I won't spend the night here, but you're free to sleep here, Nana-chan. And she goes in her head, he's going to leave.
Hmm.
And he's like, don't make that face or I won't be able to leave. I think he likes her. He just doesn't know how.
He doesn't know how.
And she's like, oh, sorry. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. I don't think I'm worth spending the whole night with, anyways.
Oh, that's very
Harsh,
sad. That
right?
is so sad. Okay, maybe, okay, that makes his look make more sense because in mine, she's like, it's cool. It's not like I was expecting to wake up in the morning next to you or anything.
Mm.
And then he just looks at her like, huh?
Yeah, she talks about her self worth,
Yeah, it makes more
which
sense if she's
makes
like,
more sense with his
yeah.
expression of not being a total heartless asshole.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he's sort of like brought to a full halt, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh?
Mm-hmm. And then he's like, when the tour is over, I'll immediately come to see you. I'd like you to cook for me again.
Isn't she
I think he
happy?
means it.
I I hope I really hope so. But also my translation, like you said, makes him worse than he is. So
The
yeah,
thing is, the fan translation also makes Hachi not as bad.
this yeah, it's true. Yeah, no, because with the other stuff going on with Takumi, I'm just like everything feels like a line. The
And I
food you
think that those
cooked me.
translations are just intentional for the time period,
Mm, it's true.
right? And like there's also like the Eastern perspective versus the Western mind, and that's a big part of it too.
True.
But yeah. And so
Yeah.
she's in her head though. She's like watching him, and she's got her dreamy little face on, like please, like happy. We
Mm-hmm.
love this look on her, but she's thinking to herself, I mustn't trust him. It'll
I
be all
mean.
right. I'm not that stupid. In the end, I've changed a lot the last 3 years.
Hmm.
And so she's like, Goshi Susama. It was great. I ate well. And he's like, well, I'm going to take a quick shower. And he has his personal things. And he's like, you can warm up while you wait for me. And I'm like, oh,
Oh man. Yeah, he's holding beauty supplies in mine, which I think is very funny.
oh, yeah, no, it says personal things in mine.
Oh, personal thing. Oh goodness.
It's soap, okay?
His soap.
It's soap. Um, and so she's like, it's true that you're always in a hurry. You know, that's bad for your digestion. And he's like, "Don't worry. I don't intend on leaving as soon as I eat." Or no, she's like, "I don't worry. I don't intend on leaving as soon as I eat. You can take your time." And he's like, dot dot dot, like sweating. I don't really know what that expression is for.
I don't know. He looks kind of embarrassed because in my she's like, "Well, aren't you hot and bothered? It's bad for digestion. I can't run away after scarfing all this food, so take your time."
It was way different.
Yeah, and I'm like, he looks kind of
She calls him
embarrassed.
out for like in mine. She calls him out for like rushing all of because he does rush all the time because he's always like busy.
Hmm.
And I think it comes up again later
Yeah, I think it's like a theme. It's like a theme with Takumi.
about
He
him
just like,
just like being in a hurry.
yeah, it's like a
But I
thing.
mean, it's like he's not only just a member of Trap Nest, he's also pretty much managing their careers, and he also arranges all of the music. Like he does a
Hmm.
lot. Like he holds the band.
Yeah, it's amazing he can fuck it all, honestly. Just saying.
And so now she's in her head, and she's like, "It'll be all right. I know what I'm doing. I won't fall in love. I just want to my dream for a moment." But I wonder how many girls Takumi's done this with. Does a
Hmm.
girl as normal as me suit him? And then she starts doing sit-ups for her warm up. And then
And
her cell phone rings.
and her cell
And she's like,
phone
maybe
rings.
I should answer. Do you want to take over?
Yeah,
This
because
is-
there's
Yeah.
honestly this part with okay, so her phone rings. This part kind of makes me sad, honestly, like sad, sad.
Oh, yeah, I got thoughts too.
Yeah,
I'm
and
curious about your translation in some of the points also.
okay. So she looks at her phone and she's like, "Hello?" Does not introduce herself, by the way.
Oh, she doesn't mind.
Oh, okay. She doesn't mind. She's learning not to say hello. This is Nana-chan. And the other line is Hachi, and it's Nana. And she's like, "It's so late. I was worried. So where the hell are you?" And Hachi's like, "Oh, Nana? Whose cell phone are you calling from?" And Nana's got like this little cheeky face, and she's like, "Oh, just mine, heart." She's like, "You finally bought one?" She's like, "Actually, Ren gave me one. He made me." And Hachi's really happy. She's like, "Eek, no way, that's so cool." And Nana's like, "But I really don't know how to use it, like emailing." And Hachi's like, "Isn't there a manual?" And I actually really like this picture of just Nana
Yeah.
just tossing the fucking manual, like, "Nope, no manual." It's too long. I don't want to read it. And I'm like, "Oh my God." And she's like, "I was hoping you could come home and teach me how to use it." And I was like, "Oh." See, that's where I get sad. I just get sad that she's like, "Hey,
He's
hey,
sitting
like,
around waiting for her.
yeah, just best friend. Like, come home and teach me how to use this dumb mechanical thing." And Hachi's like, "But if it's not the same type of phone, it's not. What brand is it?" And then Nana's like, "Really? Then come home quick. Read the manual and teach me." And Hachi's like, dot dot dot. And she's like, "Where's Ren?" Um, just have Ren show you. He's the one who knows how to work it. And Nana says, "Ren just went home." And she's like, "Oh, he's got to get up early for the tour, right?" "Oh, yeah." And then Nana looks shocked and she's like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" And because she wasn't supposed to know. Well, how could she know? Because Nana doesn't know where she is. And she's like, gets this look on her face like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that." She jumps up from the table and she's like, because Ren was talking about it yesterday." And Nana's like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm sure." She's like shouting, top of her lungs. And then Nana asks, "So where are you? When are you coming home?" And Achi is trying to find an excuse. So she's like, "Yeah, well, I'm sort of out of friends. I might spend the night." And Nana's like, "You have some other friend who lets you spend the night? A boy?" And how she's freaking out again. She's like, no, I'm over at Junko's. So she's lying, and it's not super great. Um, but she, like, Nana can't tell. So she's just laughing, and she's like, I'm just kidding. Don't freak. Alrighty then. I'll just figure the phone out on my own. Say hi to Junko. And then they both hang up, and uh, Nana's, she's back in her head, all sad. It's like, I can't tell Nana. I don't want her to know. I don't want Nana to think I'm a total slut. She'd be bummed. And then it's just like shots of, I don't know, like
It's
Nana
not his eyes.
yeah, like disapproving eyes, like watching her
Yeah.
eyes.
She didn't call herself a slut in mine.
Oh,
Yeah, and the discourse was different.
was it?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
she like not as panicked, like she's obviously kind of panicked. Because like she doesn't want to tell her the truth, but
Hmm.
the yeah. Um
Yeah.
the wording, obviously we know that the wording is very different now.
Hmm.
But she says if she finds out that I acted like an easy girl, she'll probably hate me.
Now remember the pin that I put in from like last episode? She literally said, "Do whatever you want."
Yep, she said do whatever you want. And like I have thoughts further down, but I think it's just simply because she knows that Nana cares about her, and
Hmm.
Nana wouldn't approve of the decision because Takumi is a player. That's it.
Mm. Yeah.
Right? And I don't think that that's that uncommon
True.
for their
That,
age and for their maturity.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like she. Well, I guess I can read this section and give the thought. But she's,
Yeah.
all the eyes, and she's like, "But Nana, I too want true love, just like you do. I'd love to have something like you and Ren have. Hey, Nana? Actually, I'm not okay at all. I don't want to have a one night stand with Takumi. What should I do? Nana, I'm scared, but I think it's too late to turn back.
Oh.
And, mm-hmm. Like, and I
Oh.
can't, yeah.
Oh, okay. So mine says, but Nana, in reality, I want to truly love someone like you do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be liked to someone by a bond as strong as the one between you and Ren. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Nana, I admit that I'm not well at all. In reality, I don't want Takumi to dump me after one night. What do I
Mm.
do? I'm scared, Nana, but I can't feel anymore. I can't tell him that I want him to love me.
Mm.
Perspective is different completely.
Yeah. And also the like, if she's thinking it's too late to turn back, like that's not a good headspace.
No, none of it. Neither translation is a good headspace to be in.
No, it's
Um,
not.
but she's taking ownership in my translation
Yep.
of
Um,
her wanting to love someone, not her wanting to be loved.
hmm Different.
Mm-hmm. They're so different.
Yeah. And now it's Takumi and Hachi. Yeah, and he's in a bathrobe now too, so it's fine
He
now,
is in a bathrobe. They're equally in bathrobes.
right? Bathrobe equality. Um,
And like she's
and
into it, so
yeah, but she's also like, I mean, yes, but also, he's all
but her head
famous.
isn't
No. Mm-mm.
because she doesn't want it to be a one night stand.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. And she doesn't want it to be a one night stand. She doesn't want to
Yeah.
have a one night stand.
Nope.
And she's
And
not confident in him even saying that when he gets back, he wants to see her.
true. I
And
mean,
like,
fair.
so in reality, they just don't have to rush.
Mm-mm.
And that's the big thing, is it's being rushed.
Yep. And she's still in her head, and she's like, and I can't tell him that I want him to love me. What if I get hurt all over again? And I don't know. We want to take
Yeah.
the because we're
Yeah.
moving to Jackson
Mhm.
Hole. Just
Yeah, we're going to
boom.
Jackson's. In mine, she says I can't, or I may end up covered in wounds once more.
Ooh, that's like deep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want to experience heartbreak or rejection.
It sucks.
And she doesn't want to be cheated on. And he's a player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even though he is a cheater.
He is a cheater, though. He's a cheater.
He is a cheater.
But at least she knows this time. It's not like, where they were like, oh, Shoji would never cheat. And then,
Yeah, she knows what she's signing up for.
Mm-hmm.
Except she doesn't really. Never mind.
It's fine.
So now we're at Jackson's and with June, and she's like, "Tell me, Sadakochi, Sadakochi. Whoa, okay.
Not Koichi Sato?
Koichi.
Koichi?
Sato Koichi. It's backwards in mine because it's like the proper.
Right.
Yeah, it's last name first. And saying it that way is weird. What do you think of this plan? And so then June shows him her phone and it says, tonight, let's say I'm sleeping over at your place, Nana. And he's like, ... And then he's like, Nana lives with a girl, right? And he's like, yep. But she's more daring than most guys out there. Nana really seems to adore her. I'm beginning to wonder if they're dating.
June ships them.
Well, I don't know if that's a ship. I think that's more of a what's going on.
I know.
And but again, like, I think it's like a weird one-sided love that Hachi just hasn't figured out yet.
Yep.
And so June is like, oh well, it's nothing. And he's like, nothing? She's like, I can feel it. He's like, what? So she starts sniffing her phone. It's like, Junko, aren't you a bit drunk? And she's like, I can feel that she's found another boyfriend. I hope she hasn't been done by a guy who's so lame that she's afraid to talk to her flatmate about it.
She doesn't call him...
It's not that he's lame.
No, it's not that he's lame. See, in mine, she says dangerous.
Oh.
I hope that he's not someone so dangerous. And I'm like, see, yeah, that would be my worry too. Like, are you... Is this guy, like, bad?
Yeah, see, like, but I guess I could see June, though, assuming that he just wasn't a cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I think so, yeah.
And I think that's funny. Because, like, we know way later, though, like, when they find out, how they react.
Right.
So, like, yeah. And so
Fair.
now we're in narration space. Takumi's hair was so long that it rained down upon me, plunging my entire body into caresses. I made a wish that he would always keep it long, even though I knew that I may never be able to touch it again, even though in the elevator he said he wanted to cut it. By the way.
Yeah. Right.
So now she's in bed and she hears him leave and it wakes her up.
Yeah.
And so she gets up and it's a very quiet, giant hotel suite. It's not just a room. It's an apartment. For someone who said he'd have a hard time leaving, he left right away. He's really always in a hurry. He's a rather busy prince. Because, like, earlier in the translation, when yours was talking about it being a dream, mine was talking about it being a fairy tale.
Oh, that's interesting too. Did she see? That's weird because, like, in
she called him Prince Charming. She didn't just call him a prince. Yeah.
Oh, in mine, she says he's not.
She said that he wasn't a prince. He wasn't a charming prince.
Oh,
specifically,
okay.
But he's still a prince.
I mean, I can get down with that because
right? Yeah.
Although Prince Charming is actually a terrible, terrible guy. But anyway, moving on.
He's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
He can dance, but that's all he's got in the Disney movies. Okay. So, and she goes on, she's in her head still. I'll go home as well. The fairy tale game is over. And then she starts to get up, and then she falls back in bed. Huh, I
Mhm.
can't. I don't have any more strength. Don't I have bone? She has jello legs, so it wasn't all bad.
No, that was good times.
It wasn't all bad.
Mm-hmm.
Kids, if you don't feel jello legs, it wasn't good enough. Okay,
No, it's
it's
true. It's
it's
true
so
though.
true. It's so true. Come on, be brave. I have to hurry and get back to reality. When morning comes, I'll look for a job, no matter what it is. And this time, I'll work seriously.
Hmm.
She looks at the clock and it's like 1:39 a.m. She's like, "Oh no, the last train left a long time ago. We're downtown. I don't have enough money to take a taxi. I guess I'll stay here to sleep. This is probably the last time I'll be able to sleep in a place like this." Why is she so self-deprecating around Takumi right now?
She got fired earlier today.
That's true. It's been a bad day.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but like she knows where she got. Okay. So anyway, she gets up and she notices there's a note on the table left for her. And so she like goes running over to it dramatically, starts crying. Not
Mm-hmm.
the angry wailing cry,
Nope.
the the happy cry.
Oh, yeah, like the oh my God, I can't believe it cry.
Yeah, she cries a lot. Um,
Same.
and it's his phone number and his email address, and she like holds it to her face, and I'm like, bitch, you're gonna cry that ink right off that paper. She's like weeping into the piece of paper with his phone number.
Yep.
Um, I mean, that's a little intense.
A little bit.
We know that Hachi's dramatic.
It's true.
Trap Nest tour ends July 5th with a concert in Tokyo. Says I don't have a ticket for the concert. I'll wait at home while cooking. I'll wait with a
Hey.
tiny bit of hope. Um, so it's the next day. She gets on the train, or no, they're on a train. They're on a train for tour now.
Yep. Trap nest on train.
They've finished their tour. How long is their break? 2 weeks?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's weird. So it's Naoki, and he's like, "What? You say Yasu? Why wasn't I invited?" And Ren says, "Hey, Blondie, you're too noisy. We're on a train here. How old are you?"
It's just like yelling. Is he just talking really loud?
I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, he's one of the loud ones, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't
He's
that why they
loud.
didn't invite him?
Yeah.
He's loud. Um, and so is that Naoki saying it or the manager behind? Anyway, so how's Yasu? Takumi says good. He hasn't changed at all. And Naoki's like, is his head still shaved? Takumi's like, yeah. And he has piercings. Yeah. And what's he doing now? Takumi yells at him, is like, you're really annoying, Naoki. I didn't get much sleep last night. Let me rest. Someone switch seats with me. And Reaver's like, all right, I'll take it. Ren is just over there, like ignoring them reading a paper.
Hmm.
Um, and so Rira's like, tell me, Takumi. And Takumi's like, Yasu? I heard he was a lawyer. Like, Takumi's just, he's tired. He's over it. He doesn't want
Hmm.
anything to do with any of this. And so then Rira, she doesn't say anything. And then she's like, that's not what I was about to ask. And he's like, admit that you were curious. Come on. And I think it's
Like,
just kind of funny because, like, mm, I feel like Takumi can't poke fun at Rira for the Yasu thing.
mm-mm.
To me, so much of a problem when it comes to that.
Yep.
Oh, he's so problematic. So
Uh,
Rira says, so he succeeded despite that style. And Takumi laughs and is like, despite that style. Rira's like, so he realized his dream. That's good. Ren says he was only in his 4th year of college and had already passed the exam. Impressive, huh? Where he was like, oh. Naoki's like, oh, that's impressive.
He's listening.
Because he also doesn't have any idea if it's impressive or not.
Right.
And so Takumi's like, hey, stay seated, Blondie. So he like jumps up behind him to be a part of the conversation. Takumi goes on and he's like, but he went to Tokyo for his band, so his current dream is to become a pro musician, right? And Rira's like, huh? Tokyo? For his band? Kumi goes on to say, yeah, the group he created with Ren before Ren joined ours, they found a new bass player here, and they seem to really believe in it. And I love that for them. But Rira is now like, wait, hold up. Hold up. Right? Because like that was like part of the thing. Part of the thing, right? It's like, what's going on? He kept saying music was only a hobby for him. I'm not convinced at all. And he's like, really? That sucks. Should I beat him up?
Oh, he says he's gonna beat him up because in mine he's just like, sucks, huh? Punch him. I'm like, oh, you're telling Rira to punch him.
No, he says, should I beat him up? Yeah. Yeah. Because he protects
No,
Rira.
he does. But
He's
also,
like in his own way. Well, because they're a mirror image of each other.
yep,
It's
one's
like
got
one is Zeus
hair.
and one is Hades. They're the mirrored image. Because that's what I mean what Zeus and
I
Hades
mean,
are. It's the
I
mirrored
mean,
image.
I mean, I mean, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it is. But
So
also
yeah.
now Hades is bald.
I mean, but I don't know. I feel like Takumi is Hades and but like Hades,
Really?
well, I mean, yeah.
It's all. I think it depends on how you feel about Zeus and how you feel
I'm
about
not a fan,
Hades.
but like it also depends on what Hades.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Who wrote it? Because if it's Ovid,
Ah, Abed, that man.
Romanizing all that shit, be gone with
Yeah.
you.
Right?
Anyway,
Like,
I'm like, nope.
yeah. Damn it, Ovid. Oh yeah.
Retelling the first official retelling.
Sir, this is a Euro card. I'm gonna need you to
I
not.
mean, it's pretty.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Anyway, you know, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like, I guess they both, in a way, be Hades, but like, they're still mirror images of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Hades isn't good either. All the men are bad. All the women aren't great either. I don't know. Depends on who told the story. Let's just
True.
leave it there. Rira says, I wonder if he's so motivated all of a sudden, or I wonder why he's so motivated all of a sudden. And then it goes to Red, and then we see Nana yelling Yasu, walking up to Yasu, and Yasu is grinning.
Yeah, because she looks yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
That's why.
Nana is the motivation
Mm-hmm. And
for all of them.
yeah. And she looks happy, but she's not. She's not happy. It's a lie.
I mean, kind
Well,
of, but not really. I think that she's just needing nicotine. Like,
fair.
okay, just finish your cigarette. It's pretty clear that you only kept yourself from smoking in front of me. You're like that, all talk. And you do things secretly. What else are you hiding from me? And he's like, nothing at all. And she's like, you're hiding too much from me. I'm really, really mad right now. How come you never told me about you and Rira? See, like, she could be mad about that, but, like, I don't know. I don't feel like she could be mad about that.
No,
I think she's actually mad because she wants to smoke.
I mean, that is also true. But also, she's not a fan of Rira because Rira, in her mind, took things away from her. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's her arch nemesis.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he's like, sorry. And so Nana's like, you were that impressed seeing Rira sing live? Don't mess with me. Like, but I said sorry.
She's like flipping him off. She's like, ah.
It's because he said that but he said that he's like she's impersonating him.
She
The
is with the
glasses and
glasses.
everything. It's
Yeah.
like you were that impressed seeing Rira sing live?
I know in the anime she like makes her voice like really low. She's like,
Uh-huh.
oh, Rita's singing so great. Fuck you, dude. You knew.
And
It's very funny. I like that
she
scene.
like gets a pensive look on her face and she's like, she was really impressive. I was
Mm.
so angry. I can't even compete with her. Has she
Mm.
always been like that? The kind of person that's called incredible? And Yasu has like this like compassionate look on his face, and he's like, yeah. It just pissed her off more.
Right.
He says, but you know her abdomen is damaged.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. What does she say in response? Because that is not what mine says.
Nothing. It's a
Oh.
dot dot dot. And then it says, you seem to know a lot.
Hmm. In mine, he says, yeah, but she's got abs of steel. And Nana says, well, you would know. And he just doesn't respond.
But isn't she sick?
Um, I I don't know. I
She's
don't
sick.
remember. I don't remember. I
I
don't
guess
think I have.
we'll get there. But yeah, it
Yeah,
says,
I'm like,
her abdomen is damaged.
no, I don't think my translation has anything about that. Just she's got steel abs. She's fine. She's got steel abs. So it's fine. Oh, that's completely different. Okay,
Right?
cool. Did not know that.
So
Hmm.
different. And then there's Nobu, and he's like, "What about Hachi? She's not coming today?" And Shin's like, "You keep mentioning it, Nobu-san."
Hmm.
And he's like, "Huh?" Nana's like, "Tell us, Nobu, are you in love with Hachiko? What do you like about her?" Yeah, because they have that sweet little talk in beer.
Yeah,
Because they're just two
yeah,
puppies. They're just two puppies. That's why
the puppies.
they're puppies.
But I'm glad she's asking, like, what do you
Right?
like about her? Because in mine, she's like, that's some taste in women you got.
Oh,
And I'm like, that's kind of
that's
mean.
so different.
Also, it's mean.
That is mean. That is mean. Why would
Yeah,
Nana say that?
she wouldn't. Mm-mm.
Wants to keep
Sh
all the dogs in her yard.
Yeah,
Her milkshake brings all the puppies to the yard.
and they're like,
And they wag their tails.
and they wag their tails. Where's my treat?
With the
Where's my treat?
pavilion.
With the pavilion, yes.
Like the house with the pavilion and like a bunch of dog houses. And like all of them is dogs. And Nana's on the porch like drinking tea.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So good.
Brain. He's like, of course not. It's always better to play in front of an audience.
Mm,
Yeah, but
sure.
a one-person audience is what Shin says. And it says,
Well,
well, a dog.
a dog. At least she's not calling her a dog statue right now.
Right? And Nana yells into the mic, I want to do a concert. I'm so mad. Yelling into the mic.
Yeah.
Yasu in the back he says, so why don't we? A band contacted me to ask if we'd play with them. Nobody's like, huh, really? Last time we played, we were a success. So we were asked to perform again. Nana's got the little stars, the Hachi stars in her eyes. They're not quite though. They're more like
No,
stars. They don't have the
yeah,
little
they're
weird squares, the
yeah, no, they're
rectangles at the bottom, but they're star
hmm
eyes. And she
Yep.
yells, "Let's play!" And Shin is just in the background, being a kid, saying "Yay!"
Yeah. He's so excited.
New thought boxes. That day I answered in a job offering magazine. I was interviewed to be a secretary in a dentist's office and also to be a cashier in a supermarket and also to be a receptionist in a pizza place. I was declined everywhere.
Mm. I'm glad it was a receptionist at a pizza place.
That was like my job search. Except I actually have experience.
Oh, okay. Because when she says a pizza slinger, I'm like, ah, making the pizzas.
Wait, what? A receptionist in a pizza place, like they answer the phones.
Oh, yeah, no, not mine. She's a pizza slinger,
Okay.
where they toss
Yeah,
the
we'll take
pizza.
anybody.
Oh, and they're like, no, you're a dog. You'll eat all the pizza.
No, you're a dog. Go home. Go
Oh,
back to your owner. God.
right.
So bad.
She's sitting there all teary eyed. She's like, what's wrong with me? My face? And because she's home now and she's telling Nana all this. And she's like, no, I'm sure you said something stupid at the interview. So why'd you get fired, anyways? And Hachi's like, because I was a big slacker in the office, but I promised them I'd shape up from now on. I mean, at least she's honest. And Nana's like, so
Wait,
you
he was
told
okay. Yep. Nope. My reaction's the same. Go on.
you told them you got fired because you goofed off and did nothing? How dumb can you be? And I'm like, no, that's fair.
Yeah, mine says you said you'd been fired for unjustified absences. Are you stupid or what?
And she looks shocked. She's like, she got like her hand up to her face, and she's just oh my goodness. She said it. I'm like, yeah, she did, because yeah, you done fucked up. But Nana, she actually says to the other Nana, she's like, but Nana, if you just go get any old job, the same thing's gonna happen. You should try to find a job that suits you. And she's like, a job that suits me. Does that exist in this world? Nana's like, well, there's got to be some kind of work you like to do. When people like their jobs, they do better work. Like when you worked at Sabrina. You were surrounded by stuff you loved, you could dress all hip, and you had fun working there. Why don't you find another job like that? And she just looks shocked. Like this idea has never occurred to her
She
before.
never thought to herself, "Oh, what job would I like to have?"
Nope. Just just get
No,
it.
because she just changes her outfit for the role.
Yep. Best actress. Uh,
No, but she's not because she can't
no,
play the
she's
role.
I know. She just looks good in the outfit.
Yeah, she's just a success slut. It's fine.
Uh-huh. And she's like, "Wow, she's right." Ka-ching, like in the background, like it literally just hit her. She's like, "I get it." She's like, "Mr. Mozakashi, I wonder how he's doing." And Nana's just like, "Don't start talking about him again." And Hachi's like, "But I do wonder. I never told you, but I kind of liked him." And Nana's like, as if that wasn't obvious. Only kind of. You were all over him. And she's like, so tell me, you always go for guys with long hair like Mizukoshi and Takumi. Do you have a hair fetish? And she gets the big eyes. And then, like, she doesn't, like, jump out of her seat, but she, like, tries to.
She throws her beer.
She throws her beer. And she, like, crawls herself up more onto the chair and screams, I do not. And she's just blushing. And Nana's like, what's the big deal? And now Hachi's like sweating and freaking out. And she's like, because you're being weird. And she's like, weird? Well, I like guys with short hair, just a preference. And Hachi's like, I don't have a type. Mr. Asano had short hair. And she's like, Asano? And she's like, Shoji's hair wasn't very long, and then just stop. Because I think maybe it's the first time she said Shoji's name.
Yeah, because she mentioned Shoji.
She did.
And it hasn't been that long still.
Yeah, what are we at? 2 months? Maybe?
May, June. Yeah, 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Not even. Nope. Not even 2 months. A month.
a month. Well,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have.
So
I don't have. June complete.
fair.
Anyway.
But Nana says to her, she's like, well, Shoji's hair seemed long to me. And Hachi's like, really? Well, I guess it was. And then Nana says, while we're on the subject, do you feel like you're getting over him yet? And um, Hachi just smiles, just like kind of like a, yeah, it's getting better kind of a face. And then Hana says, "You'll find someone new with long hair." And Hachi does not say anything. She's got dots. And then it's the think boxes, and she's like, I couldn't tell her about me and Takumi. Because of who he is, I couldn't even tell Junko. I had no one to talk to. But I'd never been in love like that. And it was painful. And now we're in a park somewhere, and it's Shoji, and we can see his hair is getting longer, I think. It seems to be longer than what it was before. And Kyosuke's there, standing behind him, and he's like, "Hey, Shoji, are you really moving?" And Shoji just turns around and smiles at him. And now Kyosuke is in class with June, and she's like, "What? Shoji's moving in with Sachiko? Well, that sure was fast." And Kyosuke says, "Good for them. I'm jealous. Ah, young love." And then they're just like wistfully looking out into the nowhere sphere, and they're just sighing and
Oh yeah, they do not say young love. There's also different. He says that they're naive.
oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably better
Mm-hmm.
though, because there's like this whole thing. It's like those were the days, and they're like, yeah, really, and I'm like, the days of what?
Yeah, mine
Like,
doesn't say that either.
okay, good, because I actually don't like this because
Yeah.
this whole thing here is very much like
Yeah,
remember
and like
when we
even the way
for
that she describes like the love for Takumi is different because she says that is the first time she had that kind of love.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
that's fair.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's Choji's moving in with Sachiko. Wow, that's some strong love. Some luck. It's easy to get jealous, huh? Of their naive side. And then June says, that's true. And it says distant gaze.
What does that mean though? Like,
The early stages of a relationship.
oh, okay,
It's like the beginning.
yeah.
And they're not at the beginning anymore. Because they're like
Which
settled in with each other. So the newness isn't there.
I'm just that's I think that's the reason I don't like it.
Oh, I mean, that's really common. It's
I
really common.
mean, I
Because
know
like
it
new love
is.
is different.
Yeah.
And
No,
that's all.
I know
You
it is.
become nostalgic for it.
Mm, I guess. I don't know.
It's
It's
just your personal experience. I would say the majority of people do become nostalgic for like the early stages of a relationship when it's really good.
yeah. No, no, you're right. You're right. Mine is different. I think that's why I don't like this.
It's I mean, them like distantly gazing. You know, it's like when you get your first apartment together,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
That, that's what they're doing. That's what
Yeah, but they
Sachiko and Shoji are doing. They're getting their first
yeah.
home, like they're moving in together for the first time.
Yeah, but I don't know, like June and Kyosuke just look sad about it. And I'm like, why are you sad?
Oh, I think that they're like, I think maybe it's also because yours doesn't say distant gaze.
Yeah, no, they were
You
like
think that
those.
that's like a
Yeah,
big thing because
no, it is because it's
like
like those were
distant
the
gaze is like,
days.
oh, you know, remembering, like spacing out and remembering.
Yeah, but even the face is sad for like remembering. But yeah, the translation doesn't help. Where it's like those were the days. I'm like, those were the days of what? Like when you just like
Which was like,
I thought
I
you
don't
guys were
know, a
yeah
year
you
ago.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like I thought you guys were each other's like person,
they
and now you're
are.
all sitting here like,
I
remember
don't think it makes them not each other's person or not satisfied. I
my
think that they're just
translation
like,
does.
you know, thinking to themselves, like, oh yeah, when we first did that thing, that was fun. That's
True.
all.
I don't know. Maybe I should have just like Nate read this section and see what he gets. See if I'm completely just in my own head about it, which I
Mm.
probably am because I am about most things. But So there's more think boxes. And it says, I worked up the guts to send Takumi an email while he was on the road. And we see Hachi's phone, and it says, how's tour going? Please take care and have a great time, Nana. But he never wrote back. And then it's, oh boy. Let's see, what is this? What's the date? What's the date say on yours? I'm looking for time
It's
riffs now.
24.
Okay, January, February, March, April, May, June 24th.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Um, the message is from Ren, and it says, "Congrats for your show. Enjoy the X to the max from the genius guitarist." Um, and then it's
Appreciate this feeling of being top.
hmm?
Nope.
No,
No.
no.
So yeah, it's a run message, and it says party concert. Appreciate this feeling of being on top. The naive guitarist.
Oh, oh.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because in mine he genius guitarist is like the part where they were talking in the bathtub and he was
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
and she called him naive in mine.
oh yeah, he in mine he was like, I just wanted everyone to think I was just kind of a genius. So it's like a jokey joke, so it's all good. And it's a really nice picture of Nana in her fancy
The red dress.
performing. Yeah, she's gonna do the performing. And it says, "Hey Nana, I totally adored you. I wanted to be like you. I still feel that way to this day. So please, sing for me one more time."
Do-do-do.
Do-do-do. And that's the end of that chapter. So, anyway, thank you guys for joining us. You can find us on the internet at apartment707 underscore on Instagram. And we also have a Gmail at Nana Manga Podcast at gmail.com. If you guys want to email us there, you totally can. And we also have our own Instagrams. She is Kirsten Darling across all platforms, and I am the most active on my Instagram, which is moth, MOTH underscore LACE, and that has my link tree with all of my other projects. And Kirsten should also have a link tree to all of her stuff as well. We have a Tumblr now, and that is Nana Podcast on Tumblr. Hope to be getting up some fan art and links to these particular episodes and all that jazz. So again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys in the next segment.
Kumi, the bot.
The
Instagram bot
Instagram
for his
bot.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Told Nathan about the Takumi OnlyFans.
What'd he say?
He's like, do it.
Yay!
Oh man. I'm like, can we make a deep fake of Takumi?
I don't know.
Right? Because like, well, I collect deep fakes on TikTok.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the deep fake of Keanu Reeves is like my favorite. But like, yeah, could we make a Takumi deep fake?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We could try, I
mean,
guess.
I don't know how, and I don't know if I
Either.
have the abilities to invest that level of time.
Somebody out there should do it. Somebody do it.
Honestly, for my own mental health, it's probably a good idea that I don't hyper focus on learning how to make deep fakes.
It's specifically of Takumi.
Just of Takumi. Oh, Takumi deep fake for his OnlyFans.
Oh, that's so good.
It's ridiculous. Okay, where were we?